In your career, even more than for a brand, being safe is risky. The path to lifetime job security is to be remarkable. The old rule was, create safe, ordinary products and combine them with great marketing. The new rule is, create remarkable products that the right people seek out. If a product's future is unlikely to be remarkable, if you can't imagine a future in which people are once again fascinated by your product, it's time to realize that the game has changed. The opposite of remarkable is very good. If you're remarkable, it's likely that some people won't like you. That's part of the definition of remarkable. Nobody gets unanimous praise, ever. In a crowded marketplace, fitting in is a failure. In a busy marketplace, not standing out is the same as being invisible. Boring is always the most risky strategy. Smart business. People realize this and they work to minimize this, and they work to minimize, but not eliminate, the risk from the process. Being noticed is not the same as being remarkable. Running down the street naked will get you noticed, but it won't accomplish much. It's easy to pull off a stunt, but not useful. You can't be remarkable by following someone else who's remarkable. Once you've managed to create something truly remarkable, the challenge is to do two things simultaneously. Milk the cow for everything it's worthwhile. You give the purple cow the time and space it needs to grow into a giant cash cow. Sticking your head out is rarely a strategy for people who need proof before they believe. The willingness to fail on the way to reaching a bigger goal is the untold secret of success. It's not about being weird. It's about being irresistible to a tiny group of easily reached sneezers with otaku. Irresistible isn't the same as ridiculous. Irresistible, for the right niche, is just remarkable. Marketing is the act of inventing the product, the effort of designing it, the craft of producing it, the art of pricing it, the art of pricing it, the technique of selling it. If you want to grow, you need to find customers who are willing to join you, or believe in you, or donate to you, or support you. Too much of a good thing can lead to a bad thing. Too many free samples and you don't sell enough to stay in business. The lesson is simple. Scorn the masses and sell to the fringes. The fringes care. The fringes are where the growth comes from. Playing it safe. Following the rules. They seem like the best ways to avoid failure. Alas, that pattern is awfully dangerous. The current marketing rules will ultimately lead to failure. By the time you realize that you're in trouble, it's too late to save yourself. Unless you're ready to fail, you won't have a chance to test that out and to innovate as necessary. One way to figure out a great theory is to look at what's working in the real world and determine what the successes have in common. The best time to change your business model is while you still have momentum. Instead of advertising to customers who are interested in a certain type of thing, it's about advertising a certain type of thing to people who are interested. If consumers have everything they need, there's nothing left to buy no matter how inexpensive it becomes. Great products and services succeed as word of mouth spreads their virtues. The only way to spread the word about your idea is for people to want to spread it. You have to go where the other guys can't or won't. The secret to being a superstar is to find a vacuum and fill it. Products that require a little getting used to sell best when they're adopted gradually. Design is free when you get to scale. We've been raised with a false belief. We mistakenly believe that criticism leads to failure. You're either a purple cow or you're not. You're either remarkable or invisible. Make your choice. Fitting in is a short-term strategy. Standing out pays off in the long run. No business buys a solution for a problem they don't have. If you don't have a purple cow, build one. It's vital that you make stuff for the sneezers. You don't win with better shipping or accounts payable. You win with better products. Not only do ideas that spread win, but ideas that don't get talked about lose. Familiarity breeds contempt. Even though a market is hungry for change, it doesn't want anything to be too different. If you don't add originality, you will never be closer to the market leader. The easiest way to fail is to be boring. Your product isn't perfect, but your product could probably be a purple cow. You need to build failure into your process, to have the guts to screw it up on purpose. If you knew that you could do it over, make it better, and everyone would forgive the transgressions in an instant, what could you learn? Your ability to fail repeatedly is the key to making a purple cow. The first rule of ideas that spread is that the ideas that spread win. It's unprofitable to try to appeal to everyone. Satisfied customers are less likely to tell their friends about their experiences. Angry customers are the enemy. Remarkable marketing is the art of building things worth noticing right into your product or service. The opportunity here is not to discover the next big thing, but to find the smallest possible thing, the innovation that requires the least amount of effort, and do it. The new rule is to create a culture that encourages people to seek out purple and embrace it. The old rule was to play it safe and avoid it. Stop asking whether it's worth the risk and start asking whether it's a good idea. Very good is bad. Very good is boring. Very good is invisible. If a product isn't worth talking about, it's not worth doing. The easier it is to quantify, the less it's worth. The key to success is to find a way to stand out, to be the purple cow in a field of monochrome Holsteins. Ignoring a new market because it's not as big as the old one is a sure road to failure. If you want to grow, don't try to win over the cynics. Instead, cherish the enthusiasts. Safe is risky, and risky is safe. Avoid the cow pit. Don't build boring. The time to change your business model is while you still have momentum. Sneezers turn a great idea into an idea virus. The more crowded the marketplace, the busier your customers, the more you need the purple cow. Purple cow is about the why, not the what. Boring is always the most risky strategy. We believe what we want to believe, and once we believe something, it becomes a self-fulfilling truth. If your offering itself isn't remarkable, it's invisible. People don't believe what you tell them. They rarely believe what you show them. They often believe what their friends tell them. They always believe what they tell themselves. You're not in charge, and your prospects don't care about you. It's useless to be slightly better than just about everyone else. Go for the edges. Challenge yourself and your team to describe what those edges are, and then test which edge is most likely to deliver the marketing results you seek. If you're lucky enough to have a purple cow, milk it. Don't stop until you've reached the edges of what it's capable of. No matter what you do, you're a storyteller. The product or service you offer is just a tool for telling your story. In your career, even more than for a brand, being safe is risky. The path to lifetime job security is to be remarkable. Investing in the cow means that over time, the community of interest can increase both its size and its vigor. Change isn't made by asking permission. Change is made by asking forgiveness later. Just when you think you've made your product foolproof, along comes a bigger fool. The way to grow is to find a remarkable new thing and build it into a purple cow. If people aren't talking about you, they're not talking about you for a reason. And the reason isn't that they dislike you. They're not talking about you because you're boring. You can't shrink your way to greatness.